The Ryan Institute at the University of Galway is delighted to partner with the International Organization for Migration so that Ireland is now the first European country to prepare an IOM Migration, Environment and Climate Change, or MECC, country profile as a joint effort between the Ryan Institute here at the university and IOM. The report speaks to the increasing prominence of migration in climate change discourse, and in particular in internationally agreed policies between governments that are informing national actions and imperatives. At the intergovernmental level, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or the IPCC, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, the UNFCCC, the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, and the Global Compact for Migration, they all now have significant focus on migration in the context of climate change.
Growing numbers of people are migrating temporarily, circularly, or permanently in response to environmental shocks and stresses, including those caused by climate change, and Ireland is already beginning to feel these impacts. In response, this report contributes to the knowledge and advocacy base of the MECC nexus in Ireland, while highlighting research and policy gaps.
I think the nexus between migration, environment, and climate change should start to be interwoven into our policies and planning. Discussion on this nexus should start to enable more effective planning and support for those who are vulnerable to climate stresses, just because of where they happen to live or because of their livelihoods, demographics, or other factors.
Most of Ireland's population resides in coastal zones whose long-term sustainability is threatened by climate change. Many factors will determine the extent of vulnerabilities to these risks. It's great that this work with IOM will help us to build resilience using research from one of the fantastic students on our master's program in climate change, agriculture and food security.
The purpose of the IOM country profile is to provide recommendations for strengthening national responses that recognize and respond to rising uncertainties regarding human mobility in response to climatic and environmental changes in Ireland.
This profile aims to inform and encourage the Irish government, policy makers and relevant stakeholders to consider key challenges and opportunities arising from the migration, environment and climate change nexus in Ireland.
A key role of this IOM MECC country profile is to raise the awareness of the impacts of a warming planet and increasing environmental degradation on human migration patterns in Ireland, so that migration can be better factored into the necessary sustainability and just transition pathways that have to be pursued.